This is the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA, a weekly recap of your Philadelphia Eagles and news around the NFL. Broadcasting live from Chickies and Pete's, tonight's show is brought to you by Rob's Automotive and Collision, BCWSA, Chickies and Pete's, Allstate Fairless Hills Tom LaCroix, Penworth Financial Services, Penn Community Bank, Capital Grill, Ventresca's LTD, Independence Blue Cross, and SEPTA. We now go live to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Now, here are your hosts, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
Thank you very much, and good evening, everyone. Great to have you with us. We are at Chickies and Pete's at the Parks Casino in Bensalem, and the weather is a little bit warmer than it was a week ago. The frost is starting to dissipate, and the off season for the Eagles is in its second week, unfortunately, Bob.
Yeah, and tough loss down there in Tampa, much like the other ones, Merrill. Yeah, and they'll get it sorted out, I think.
You know, we have one of my favorite people. He's been a good friend for a long time, and he's always willing to come on the show and share his expertise with us. How about a nice welcome for one of the best Eagles defensive linemen in history, Mr. Hollis Thomas.
Thank you. It's always my pleasure to come out with that. You have to come with a great Merrill Reese. Can I ask you to come on his show? And besides, I just want to know what you were thinking one time when I was watching the game and I just heard you say, well, the Eagles put a real football team on the field. I was like, I've never heard Merrill speak in that nature.
I did mention late in the game, and I never really said it quite as straightforwardly as I did. I said, you know what? This is a bad football team.
Yeah.
This is a team that was, Hollis, this was a team that was 10-1. Now, I've seen bad teams over the years.
Right.
They were bad from beginning to end. They were inconsistent. But I never remember a team that was being talked about as the best team in the NFL go from 10-1 to oblivion. They didn't just lose at the end; they lost embarrassingly.
Yes, it was an epic collapse. And I think the writing was on the wall when we switched coordinators, because as a defensive player, it's like even if you switch coordinators mid-season, the guy who you switch to, it's kind of like when Andy switched to Juan Castillas.
Oh well, see that
I forgot about that. Yeah,
it's like, but then this is what, and I listened to some of the players when they were doing some of the interviews, and some of them were being kind of candid. He said, my boy Big Play Slay said that it was like having two girlfriends. One wanted a foot massage, and one wanted a neck massage.
I saw that.
And it was just like, oh man. And I was like, when you think about it, it's kind of like. It's like when you go home, if you guys I watched my dad do this many times, go home to see if my mom is still angry, and you never still know if she's still angry, but then you see the kids still like you. I was like, but is the wife still angry? But is the wife still angry? Then you go back out for another beer. I was like, so when I started hearing that, and then you start seeing what was happening on the field, the hesitation. It's like when Jim, rest his soul, when Jim Johnson used to see you hesitate, you wasn't on the field no more. Because when you hesitate, that's the difference between a sack or just a quarterback hit, which he can also throw for a touchdown.
He who hesitates is lost.
Yeah, he who hesitates is the master or something. I don't want to mess up your show.
No, but that's a great point. How can you play fast?
Yeah.
How can you tackle when you don't know the defense?
Yes.
But I had a question for you. If that had happened to you,
right? If
they have changed the coordinator with 4 games to go,
right?
How does a player take that? Like we stink.
Well,
you
have
how
to look.
do you take that?
It's a different time now than it was back then, because we've won despite some coaches and some when I was in New Orleans, we had a good defense coordinator, but the secondary coach was kind of aloof. He didn't know what the hell he was doing.
I forgot who that was. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Well, so what we did was we took it upon ourselves because we were veterans, and we just played to win, because ultimately then what you put on tape the other teams are going to see, and ultimately when they see you quit like that, It's gonna be hard. You're gonna be hard pressed to get another job. But that's the last stain in their brain is you just quitting on the field. I saw a lot of missed tackles, and that's not coach. That's not coaching. It can be coaching because if you don't practice that, a lot of people think because you arrive to the pros, you're supposed to the basic things go by the wayside. You're always supposed to know those. No. Because you don't practice those, you lose that, and you had to get back to basics. I've never seen us go back to basics.
My friend Jules Quinones is with us tonight, and he showed me a video about an hour ago of Dan Campbell.
Right.
Of Dan Campbell talking to the Detroit Lions and saying, "Look, we're going to work hard. We're going to have to hit. Yep. We're going to have to be physical because, number one, that's going to save you from getting injured during the season because your body is ready for it.
Yep.
And number two, it's going to make you a great player. You've got to be aggressive. You've got to pursue.
Yep.
If these are things you just think about, it doesn't work.
Right.
You have to have that kind of preparation.
Yes.
And quite frankly, the Eagles training camp is they work hard.
Yeah.
They put a lot of work into an hour and a half.
Right.
But there is very little physicality.
Yeah. And when watching it too, it's like to me it's like a fresh air fun. It's like a Friday or Saturday practice. And that's just from what I see. But obviously it's been working in the past. But were you able to work like they've been working and still win? You don't need the constant pounding. But when you're a team like Detroit, you need that. Like when Andy first got here with us, we needed that type of discipline. We needed to be put through something like that. So
and he was tough.
Yeah, he was tough. And Jim Johnson was tough. The defensive drills were tough. We wasn't on the field long, but we were out there. We made the work count. I don't see that as being a problem. I see what they're doing as far as like defensively. I don't see them going. You don't see them going through the blitzes and stuff. Like we walked through blitzes, we ran through blitzes, and then we blitzed against the offense. But then we also made corrections. But then we walk through them again, and you have to do that time and time again so that it becomes second nature. If you look at the teams that are great at putting pressure on people, it's like they believe. And you have to get each and every player to believe their job. If the player doesn't believe their job, when it's their time to shine, they're going to hesitate. It's like I learned through when I was talking to Dawkins. We were talking about one of our favorite defenses that Jim Johnson used to call before Bill Belichick stole all the signs and stuff. It was called Even Fox Alert Snake. Even Fox Alert Snake was an all-out blitz.
Yeah.
Now, initially, when you read what's on the card, I'll write it down for you in a second. When you read what's on the card as my job, it said bull rush the guard. But the coaching point to that is bull rush on the track. Now, see, if I'm bull rushing on the track and the guard slides down, that's my time to shine. If I'm bull rushing on the track, I'm going straight through the line, and I've got like 3 sack, forced fumbles, and recover off that because I believed in the blitz. And it's like other times, the first few times you do it, Dawkins them, and everybody's going to come through, and they're going to get all the glory. But there's going to be times that you run it, he runs it enough to where when your number is called, like you could be the guy on the end of the line of scrimmage. And then one time they turn that guy loose. If you stop and hesitate, he's going to be able to get the ball off. Everybody has to believe. And that's the one thing I did not see our defense. They did not believe in either one of those guys.
What happened, Hollis, from last year to this year with a player like Josh Sweat? He's a talented athlete, and last year he was terrific.
It's 3 things that happened.
He disappeared.
It's 3 things that happened. You want to know those 3 things?
Yes.
Hargraves, Linval Joseph, and Ndamukong Suh. You didn't have that. You didn't have that push in the middle.
I couldn't have said that better.
You didn't have the push in the middle. You had a bunch of young guys who didn't have the same dog in them like the guys who I just mentioned.
Well, how about someone like Jordan Davis? Here's a guy who was the best interior defensive lineman in the country a year ago.
Yeah. but
what happens?
But before that, it's like, remember I said I mentioned 3 guys
didn't believe,
he
right?
Didn't believe, and then you saw they believed early on a little bit, but then when you change the coordinator, It's like it's kind of it's hesitant. It's like all of a sudden he's picking up weight now. All of a sudden he's fat now late in the season. He's not doing. If you look, he's hesitating on picking his gap. If you don't believe in what you're doing, you're going to be a step late. And that's the crap they had with the guy who was on the defense.
That makes a lot of sense.
The guy who was the defensive coordinator one time after Buddy Ryan. He brought the read and react crap.
Oh,
and then they got him out.
Carson.
Yes, they got him. Then they got him out of here. He's like you with a defense.
No, it wasn't
somebody else.
It was somebody else, but
it wasn't Bud Carson.
I want to say they brought him to Chicago, and then they got rid of him because they went 8-8 because he was with the read and react. If you have a bunch of athletes like we have, you have to give them something to do. Our linebacking core is not that great. They're hesitating. Feeder and cement. I was like, what happens with that? You get the guys, get the double team on him. It rubs up right there. And he's right there for the offensive guard, offensive center to be right there to block, and he is 8 yards by the time you think of anything.
Hollis, let me ask you this: they changed defensive coordinators. They didn't change the title, but we know that they changed defensive coordinators. They went from Sean Desai to Matt Patricia in midseason. Is it tougher to change defensive coordinators than it is to change offensive coordinators? Because the Bills had reached their depths, made a lot of mistakes, and then one day, after a terrible loss, Sean McDermott said, we're bringing in a new offensive coordinator, which he did, and they took off and never lost again. Can you do that more easily on offense than defense?
No, it actually just depends. If you was going to switch defensive coordinators like they did, you would have a guy that's not going to have Hassan Reddick dropping in the coverage.
Yeah, why?
Saquon Barkley
Why would they do that?
You wouldn't have Smith doing the same thing. These are guys that, as I told you, if they switched to me, I had an Okie package where those guys would have been jokers, and I would have been running stunts with the three down tackles, and Hassan Reddick and Smith running stunts with each one of those guys, because you have to put the offensive line on notice. They can't know what we were lined up right in front of them every time, and you gave them nothing. You literally just took the lambs out, or took the rabbits out to the water. The baby chicks led the baby chicks to water. You just led the baby chicks to water because you lined up either the under or the over every time. And if you look at it, it's like they don't even have to make any calls. The offense, if you look at them, they know where you are. You know how much trouble that it would give an offense if you line up Hassan Reddick standing up with Smith standing up in his three down tackles.
If you had the A-gap pressure, right?
Yeah. That's what you line up the three down there for, because you give those three, you give them some responsibility, and you tell them where they're going to go, and you run stunts. We love running stunts up front. Because it's so long. We had 90 plays in the NFL. You had 90 plays in a game.
Wow!
You ran 90 against the Buffalo Bills. They ran 90 plays on us, and it was like we ran the same crap every time. It's like if I'm running the same crap every time, it's like, oh man, here we go again. He knows where I'm going. It's like the best thing of playing defensive line is when you know you have a stunt, and you know that they don't know you have a stunt, and you can see them bearing down to come get you, but your slant is inside, and when they come get you, you whiff, and you're in the backfield doing what I call backfield boo-loving, handling business.
Jim Johnson do that a lot?
Yes.
Did he? Okay.
Is he the best you ever played for?
Yes, he's one of the best architects known to man. Between him and Emmett Thomas.
Emmett Thomas,
because Emmett Thomas could run coverages and stuff and disguise things to help people out. His was a little more complicated.
Well, Emmett was with Ray.
Emmett was with Ray, but a lot of people don't know that to stop the West Coast offense, it was Emmett Thomas, Jim Johnson, Tommy Brazier, and there was one other coach, all down in Tampa Bay. That's when they first started running these zone traps. There's the zone traps that you run. You run and you still have a 4-man rush, but they never know which 4 men are coming.
Now, I always got the feeling that Andy was so upset that, let's face it, Joe Banner made him get rid of Sean McDermott, who succeeded Jim Johnson when Jim passed away.
Right.
And things that year were not good.
Right.
So I felt that Andy was so angry that he took his offensive line coach, Juan Castillo, who was a perfectly good offensive line coach, and threw him to the other side of the ball and said, we can make it work any way we want. And it didn't. It was a disaster.
It was a disaster, too, because you went out and got Jim Washburn as the defensive line coach,
and he thought he was the coordinator.
He thought he was the coordinator.
Right?
Yeah, it was real bad.
That was bizarre.
Yeah, it was extremely bizarre because up front you're running one thing, and the secondary and the linebackers are running another. So it's like
I didn't know it was that bad. Yeah.
Yes, there was no continuity. He was. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus. Throw you under. You're on the plane when they fire wash.
Oh yeah.
Don't even worry about coming into work tomorrow.
Wow, is that right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awful.
Brutal because he was talking about Jason Babin.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember Jason Babin was a guy who was a great pass rusher.
Yeah.
And he disappeared.
Were they both let go at the same time?
Well, Jason Babin I think was
days?
let go within days.
Yeah.
Because it was like towards the end, and I think.
And he was Washburn's guy, right?
Yes, and it was like, well, I had such and such. He's like, really? You're gonna bring that up? I heard about the conversation.
I liked Babin.
It was really funny.
Babin was a cocky guy. I liked him.
But Hollis Thomas is our guest right now. Hollis, you know that they decided to say goodbye to Sean Desai, who was relieved of his duties in a sense. And then Matt Patricia's not coming back.
Yeah.
And they're interviewing people to be defensive coordinators.
Mike Caldwell and
Ron
Rivera.
One of the guys is Ron Rivera, who you know very, very well.
Yes, it's my guy.
He'd be great, wouldn't he?
Yes, both of those guys would be great. If you don't hire both of them, one of them is the defense coordinator, one of them is the linebacker coach. We have neglected the linebacker for too long. Way too long.
That would be interesting.
Yes, quit piecing crap together and trying to throw it up and throw it up against the wall to see what happens. We went and got Shaq Leonard.
He didn't have much left.
He didn't have much left.
He may retire. Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, he's gonna. But you guys, you had him. You had
Trot.
You had Caldwell as a linebacker.
Zeke,
Carlos Emmons.
Carlos had Zeke.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah, but don't forget James Darling.
James Darling.
Yes.
It's like, but then they started like they had Mark Semino who actually played pretty decently.
Yeah, Mark was good.
Nate played pretty good, and
he
Dhani
missed some
played.
tackles though.
Semino.
Yeah,
Semino. But it was like when you put the right big guys in front of him.
Right.
He was a sturdy guy.
Get guys lined up too.
Yes, and remember he was like the only non-kicker that kicked the extra point.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes. I do.
When Tasiak went out.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was. We used to always have some decent linebackers, and the Axeman itself to anchor it all down.
Yeah, but Trot's one of the best of all time.
Yes, one of the guys.
Trot,
yeah, man. When you look at the way, I think the best thing that happened to him was Jim Johnson getting there, and and between him and Dolph, it really made their career take off.
Oh, it was like,
speaking of taking off, don't you guys have to do a break?
Yeah,
we do have to do. We have to take a break.
You like that, don't you?
But when I talk to you, I don't like to stop. All right, we'll be back with Hollis Thomas right after this.
From Chicky and Pete's, the official sports bar of your Philadelphia Eagles. Here's a winner, fall football, and Chickies and Pete's mouth-watering snow crab legs. For a limited time, buy one and get one free snow crab legs every Tuesday and Wednesday. Enjoy the sweet, delicate flavor of snowy white crab meat dressed in our special blend of seasonings and spices. Pair it with an ice-cold draft beer or one of our signature cocktails. Buy one and get one free snow crab legs every Tuesday and Wednesday for a limited time. Restrictions apply. Chickies and Pete's.
Ventresca Limited, the Delaware Valley men's store, is located in historic Doylestown. For casual clothing in denim to business suits and tuxedos, Ventresca Limited has a large selection you have to see to believe. The experienced and knowledgeable sales staff can show you the many brand labels that have made Ventresca Limited in Doylestown a must for men concerned about their image. Select from Canali, Brax Jeans, Hickey Freeman, Johnson Murphy Footwear, and much more. Custom alterations are free. Visit Ventresca Limited on the web at ventresca.com.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Hi, it's Merrill. Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa is here to help you distress after the game. Visit them to restore, relax, or refresh with a much-needed massage or facial for an introductory price starting at just $79.95. They offer an abundance of facial and massage services. Visit any one of their 60 spas in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, or go to handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Planning to go to the game? Give LimoToday.com a call. You'll get to the game and back safely and in style. Why worry about the traffic and parking when you can relax and let LimoToday.com do the driving for you and your friends? And if you book a 5-hour trip with LimoToday.com, you'll get the 6-hour free. From sedans to minibuses to vans and stretch limos, let LimoToday.com get you to the game. Give them a call at 1-866-LIMO-TODAY. That's 1-866-LIMO-TODAY.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. Once again, here's your host, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz, and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And you are listening to Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, and seen live on YouTube by searching WBCB Sports. Hollis Thomas, my good friend, is with us tonight, and I saw his eyes light up when I mentioned the name of Ron Rivera becoming an Eagles defensive coordinator, because you were talking about somebody who is tough.
Yes.
And somebody will put some physicality back in training camp, and somebody who was a good head coach, took Carolina to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
In Washington, who was going to have success with Dan Snyder? Nobody.
He cleaned it up pretty good,
but
though.
we know what kind of a guy he is.
Yeah, and he's one that commands, not only commands respect, but commands accountability. And you'll see them making sure that the guys do their own studying and stuff. And he'll but I think he will put the guys in the best possible position to win. If you look at what we've been doing, the defenses that we've been looking at lately, it's the bend but don't break. It's not. Nobody's fearing us. I was like, last year they feared a little bit of the front four when we got ahead. I was like, but we didn't have any hard hitting linebackers who were going to come downhill and knock the crap out of you, and also you had to fear them on the blitzes. They don't fear our safeties like they fear Dawkins.
Keep everybody in front of you.
It's like keep everybody in front of you and hope to make the tackle.
Yeah.
They hope nothing happens. I was like, no, you force the issue. You dictate to them what they're going to be, and that's what you see in both of the guys. In both him and Mike Caldwell, he coached Mike Caldwell.
Sure.
Ron Rivera coached Mike Caldwell, and Mike Caldwell he was a sponge.
Yeah,
a sponge
Mike's a great guy and a great coach.
Yeah, and the reason why he played when he played the way he played was because he was smart and he was always in the right place at the right time. And it was like when you look at it, he coaches that hard, tough nose stuff. And the one thing that he never looked like to me, I was like, he's a nice guy, but he will knock your block off. Mike Caldwell, because I saw it was one game. I was like, I didn't know you had that in you, Zeke.
Why did he get fired? Why did he get fired? And
I think they use him as a scapegoat.
Yeah.
If you look at what happened the previous year with not San Diego, but the LA Chargers, they fired their offensive coordinator and they scored 35 points, and you gave up 42, and you're the defensive guy, so you fire your offensive coordinator. You bring in Kellen Moore.
How'd that work out?
That didn't work out at all. They were sticking up the joint. But then you see this year, they had like 4 or 5 turnovers in the playoff game. He only gave up 28 points, and then you only scored 20, and your quarterback threw 2 picks.
Were you a big Jim Schwartz guy?
I like Jim Schwartz a little bit.
I mean, he gave up 505 passing yards in the Super Bowl.
But they won.
But they won.
Super Bowl record.
But they won.
Yeah.
I was like, look at it.
But look, he's in Detroit right
he's
now.
in Detroit.
No,
We're done. He's in
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Right.
Then they had the number 1 defense. You know who had the number 1 secondary in the NFL against the pass? The Baltimore Ravens. Guess where that DB coach used to be?
Yeah, John Harbaugh.
No. The DB coach with the Ravens.
Denard Wilson?
Yeah.
Oh.
He didn't develop those guys, though.
Okay, he
they were
didn't.
developed for years.
No,
Hollis.
but you didn't see them before he got there.
Let me tell you,
they were crappy before he got there.
Hollis, Bob is wrong.
Thank you.
The Eagles players love
can
playing
back
for
that up.
Denard Wilson.
No, you can't back it up. Go.
Yes, I
you want to
can.
really back it up? Go
Yeah.
back and look at the game last year before he got there when they played against the Miami Dolphins. Yeah,
I can back it up.
Yeah, I just backed it up.
I'm siding with Hollis.
I don't hear you. I'm waiting on your turn.
They've been
your
good.
turn. No, your
Their
turn.
DBs
No,
have
your
been
turn.
good since
give
the
me,
beginning
give me,
of time.
Give me a game. Give
There
me a game.
it is, right
Give me a
there.
game. Since the beginning of time. Well, what happened the year
beginning
that I'm
of
talking
time.
about before you got there?
They got a.
They were getting
Ed Reed,
torched.
all
They were
those
getting
guys.
torched.
No.
They were getting torched.
Hollis is right. I hate
No,
to
he's
tell you. He is absolutely
And they were-
right.
they were
Merrill
giving
told
up-
me not to argue with you.
You don't have to argue. They were giving up the lead before he got there, and it was because of the DBs.
They're
were getting
healthier
toasted.
this year, Hollis.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It really is.
Yeah.
No,
They're healthier everywhere. on
No,
defense.
Denard Wilson's a good coach.
Yes,
and
he's
the
a
players
really
were
good coach.
very
I'm not
upset.
saying he's a bad coach. I'm just saying that that was already
You
in
know
place.
whose name I'm seeing around?
Who's that?
Being mentioned as a possible defensive coordinator
Who's that?
someplace. Al Harris.
Yeah, 31.
Oh.
Yeah. Can
31.
Can he coach?
31 can coach. Yes.
Now there's a developer of talent.
he's a
That guy develops talent.
Yeah, but they got exposed. Still, he still will bite on the slant and go like nobody knows. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you didn't
developed that talent.
Oh, so you didn't see what the Green Bay
really
Packers
good.
just did to them. Did you watch that game? See, Bob, if you're going to argue with me, you're going to have to watch film.
They got
hit
a
him
guy
with the
that had
slant.
6 pick six.
Yeah, okay.
They lost their best defensive
And then
back.
when it was nut cutting time, what happened?
They lost
When it was nut
lost
cutting-
Diggs.
No. When it was nut cutting time, what happened? They got
What
beat
happened
4
was Dak
times
threw-
on this slant and
Dak
the
threw
slant and
3
go.
6 picks. That's what happened, Hollis.
Well, you have to stop the opposing team, don't you? You don't get if your DB doesn't get
When
beat
you
on the
get
slant and
behind
go.
like that, you start taking
That was the
chances.
first drive. I was like, this
Dak
is
threw 3 6 picks. All right,
well,
come
but
on, man.
3 picks. You mean 3 pick sixes? Yeah, but before that,
two counted.
But before that even transpired, their first drive, watch as number 11 takes a slant route.
I
and
wouldn't doubt
goes
that
back
Green
that
Bay
way.
had a good plan, and they almost won in the divisional round too.
Yeah.
Almost doesn't count.
Yeah, it
Which
only
is
counts
playing
in
to
horseshoes
him.
and rush
Almost
That
does
was
not
no,
count.
that's one
That
game.
was the
Al
worst.
Harris.
That was the worst interception by Love I've ever
yeah.
seen.
And then
He's got almost a minute left.
Yes.
And he throws the ball in the rain
into
the center of the field.
across
Al
his
Harris
body
did a
late.
great job of that.
No,
Yeah.
no. I'm
Okay.
not saying Al
Well,
didn't
then
do a
why
great
are we
job.
arguing? He was
The argument
fantastic.
was he still gets beat by the slant and go. and it showed it. Remember when they say you take on the
But who
no.
Who does it?
No.
Yeah.
It's the thing is you take on the personality of your coach, and he was known to get beat on the slant and go. Mm-hmm. And what does his DBs get beat on?
Slant and go.
Yes.
Good point.
Everybody does.
So all right. So but Caldwell's a smart guy.
Yes.
he is a smart guy. And like I said, Ron Rivera would bring in head coaching experience.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's just terrific.
But I think what we need at the coordinator position is some guys who are respected and demand. It's like they were bitching him on and down in D.C. when Bieniemy came there and he was holding everybody accountable. And it's like he's like you have to hold people accountable. Yeah. It's like what are you mad because I'm asking you to do your job?
Yeah.
It's like do your job. It's like a lot of times you get the prima donnas who are not willing to sacrifice. It's playing football is a sacrifice to do your job, knowing and believing that when your number is called, you're going to be there.
Did you say prima donna?
Yes.
Okay.
Prima donna.
Number 11.
Yes.
The T.O. treatment. I'm telling you, that locker room.
No.
That locker room
No.
at the end of the year.
Not even close.
No.
He didn't even show up in the
Not
locker
even
room.
close.
At the end.
He was injured.
Not even
No.
close.
I'm talking about before that. Yeah.
Before then, what? He didn't show up because to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it wasn't just because of that. It
No,
was because
AJ Brown happens to be a good guy.
Yeah,
He
I
really
know.
does.
I think he's a great guy.
He is
Yeah.
a good guy.
I
and
like
he's
the
not.
guy.
He's not a problem.
Yeah, I don't think he's a problem.
And you know what gets me? People this year are all of a sudden saying, "Listen, Jalen Hurts isn't a leader.
Right.
He's quiet. He doesn't go rev guys up." Last year, everyone was saying, you know, Jalen Hurts is a great leader because he's cerebral and he leads by experience and he doesn't overreact.
Did you see A.J. Brown yelling at him this year?
No, that stuff goes on all the time.
Not like this, man. Oh,
Yes,
man.
do you
It was a TV cameraman's dream, Hollis.
Yeah,
Just go up and down that sideline.
You
It
know
was-
why? Because the people who
Yeah,
are arguing
because
are the people
it
who are in the
was
game.
happening,
But
yeah.
the people who are arguing are the people who are in the game. They're trying to get on the same page.
I think
and if
that
things aren't going smoothly, there's going to be some hot heads. If I don't see somebody arguing, it's like that means you don't give a damn.
Even Dom got into it, for God's sakes. Yeah.
And Dom didn't get into nothing.
Yeah.
That was crap. That was crap in the handbasket. I was like that. I looked at that whole thing. I was like, the guy, he turned around and got mad. I was like, first of all, you're wrong. You hit him way out of bounds, and then you turn around pushing people. It's like he's trying to stop you from getting mauled.
You can't do that because of the bets and stuff that are on games. Because otherwise, you could have a person who wasn't in the game,
right,
and they could get somebody thrown out on the other team.
Well, the funny part about
that's why he got suspended. Yeah.
Oh, you talk about Dom?
Yeah.
But the thing that he was trying to stop was a fight on the sideline. And then somebody on the sideline.
Okay.
Yeah, he's security. That's why he was doing his job.
Yeah, but you can't have a non-player get another player thrown out.
That was his own fault. He the one who he was attacking everybody else.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but where's the onus on the player for going over there starting crap?
Of course.
Just go back to the other side. I get sick and tired of this.
You can't have your non-players get in fights with players and push them, shove them, whatever.
Well, you should know better.
You shouldn't do that.
As a player, that's selfish of you. When you get an unnecessary responsibility,
selfish or not, you can't have it.
Yeah, I know. You know why you can't have it? You can't have that guy on your team because you can't have idiots on your team.
You had a real big interception.
You know, I mean, who was it?
Game,
who was it the other day? One of the 49ers came back on the field,
right,
and he from behind. He just shoves the guy.
Yeah, that was Trent Williams. He's always doing. Yeah, he's the same dude that was with the command. It was the Redskins at the time that
he played against him many times, didn't you?
No, not him. I played against Chris Samuels. Chris Samuels and Walter
I remember
Rasmussen.
Chris Samuels.
Yes,
he was good.
Yes, it's like with the thing that he did when he came back on the field. That was the dumbest thing known to man because you were coming on the field for offense and there was a special teams player going out the field and you pushed him for no reason.
He flopped.
Yeah, he flopped. But what are you pushing him for?
Pushed him.
Yeah.
I mean, that made me shake my head and say, well, if I'm a coach, I'm going to be screaming at him.
Can we take a break?
Okay.
I want to get after Hollis.
We'll take a break right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, your home away from home for the pro football playoffs. Nobody does playoff watch parties better than Chickies and Pete's. Come for the best in-game experience and join the best fans in the world for the playoffs. Enjoy all your Chicky and Pete's game day favorites with daily ice-cold draft beer specials and our seasonal cocktails. Plus the unbeatable combination of playoff football and Chicky and Pete's world-famous crab fries. It's game time, only at Chickies and Pete's.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
At Penn Community Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your neighbors. That comes in handy when you're purchasing your first place, refinancing an existing mortgage, buying a second home or investment property, or looking to tap into your home's equity. Whatever your situation, we pair the latest products, services, and technology that you need with the experienced banking professionals you want. Visit penncommunitybank.com or stop by your local branch to find out how we can make your family's growth personal. Penn Community Bank. Here we are and here we grow. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Hi, it's Merrill. Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa is here to help you distress after the game. Visit them to restore, relax, or refresh with a much-needed massage or facial for an introductory price starting at just $79.95. They offer an abundance of facial and massage services. Visit any one of their 60 spas in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, or go to handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Planning to go to the game? Give LimoToday.com a call. You'll get to the game and back safely and in style. Why worry about the traffic and parking when you can relax and let LimoToday.com do the driving for you and your friends? And if you book a 5-hour trip with LimoToday.com, you'll get the 6-hour free. From sedans to minibuses to vans and stretch limos, let LimoToday.com get you to the game. Give them a call at 1-866-LIMO-TODAY. That's 1-866-LIMO-TODAY.
Bringing in your front line is as easy as 1, 2, key. SEPTA Key Advantage is a unique and valuable transit benefit program that gives your employees all-day, everyday access to the entire SEPTA system. That means your staff can get in for their first, second, or third shifts and even travel the system on their off hours, seamlessly and affordably, all thanks to you. Learn how easy it is to customize a SEPTA Key Advantage program for your team at SEPTA.org/partner programs. That's SEPTA.org/partner programs.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. Once again, here's your host, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz, and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
It's time now for this week's injury review, brought to you by the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. Contact them today for a free consultation at 215-806-3689. 215-806-3689. Bob,
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter right now.
No. Although there are a couple of injuries in these in the conference title games. Yeah.
Yes, in those games.
Joe
yes.
Tooney. What is it, a pec?
Yeah, it's a straight pec.
Can you play with that?
You can try. Center? You can try all you want to, but I would take full advantage of you if I'm the nose guard across from you.
Didn't you tear a pec one year?
No, I tore a tricep and a bicep.
A tricep and a bicep. Yeah.
And also the bicep, and I dislocated the elbow one year.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's I played with the dislocated elbow with the brace on.
Yeah.
And it was a little rough, but we were winning, so once we won and we got the bye week, I was able to get an extra week of rest on the and training and rehab. Actually, I got acupuncture for the very first time.
Yeah.
And I continue to use it to this day, but it actually helped. It made it like 150% better. So
that's a huge deal for Kansas City.
How about the Lions picking up Zach Ertz?
Oh yeah, they're good
for one game.
Because
I think their center's hurt too.
Well, their center, he was dealing with some back issues and stuff. But I think his is fixable. But the tight end who had the knee sprain, I think it got a little bit worse.
Okay.
Because he's playing with the knee brace on, the big bulky knee brace, and he was there sparingly.
Well, that's Sam Laporte.
Yes.
But he can still play, but their backup was knocked out.
The backup was knocked out as well?
Oh, and he won't be ready.
No,
so that's why they picked up Zach Ertz.
Yes, it's one of those things where, he knows Campbell due to tight end university that they used to do, but I think it's great for Zach, and I think he waited to the right time.
He sure did.
Yeah, right time and prime and situation too.
Hollis, we're talking about a lot of people who could be helping the Eagles,
right?
And one might be the son of your former great teammate, the son of the Axeman, Jeremiah Jr.
Yes, I was checking him. I was checking him out all year
at Clemson.
At Clemson, yeah, he put on a. If you really want to see a game to where he just took over the game, the Notre Dame game.
Is that right?
Yes, he was sacking, he was intercepting, he showed his range of pass coverage, he showed his blitzing ability, and he was all over the place, and it's just like it's. To know him from birth to now,
yeah,
it's like
you knew him when he was born.
Yeah, and then we did a couple of before he went off to high school and college, so we did like a couple of charity basketball games where me and Trot just used him and his brother Josiah. It's like go out there and tire out the opposing team, and then we'll come in for cleanup.
Oh,
so,
my
Is he
goodness.
bigger than his father?
No, he'll never be bigger than his father. I think he's a little bit smaller.
Okay.
You got to remember, Jeremiah, the Trot was about
6'2",
6'3",
6'3",
6'2" or 6'3", about 265, 270.
Excuse me.
Running, yeah.
He was big.
He was big, but he was just like a monster,
He
man.
could run,
He could run like nobody's business,
Yeah.
and there's the work that he put in, especially once Jim came, and pretty much gave Trot the keys. He took it and ran with it. He was able to break everything down to become one of the best linebackers known to man.
That's what
the Eagles have another son, not the Eagles, but there is another son of a former great Eagle who is carving out a wonderful career for him as a starting tackle in Green Bay, and that is John Runyon's son.
John Runyon Jr., yes. Did you see that when John Runyon had to send him a fine?
Oh, did he really?
It's like I think he got fined like $15,000 for a leg whipping incident. He's like, if you continue these actions, the fine will be greater and possibly a game suspension. Sincerely yours, John Runyon Sr.
He really did that.
Yeah, because he's in charge of the fines and stuff.
Right.
And I was cracking up. He's like, it's like I had to, because I was talking to Ron, and he was like, man, I had to fine my son. I was like, wait a minute. So you talking about Junior, right? He said, yeah. I was like, how was that? I was like, so it's John Runyon Jr. to John Runyon Jr. from John Runyon Sr.
Well,
a letter from your dad.
How about Troy Vincent, who is right under Roger Goodell?
Yes, TV is right. He's right there. I talk to Troy Steele all the time. Him and Bobby Taylor is part of the Play 60, and plus also the overseas NFL overseas.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
And he's working at Louisville too, right?
Is Bobby working at Louisville as
I
well?
think so. Yeah.
I don't know because me and Bobby did a camp for kids up here in Chester. We did a camp for kids for the Play 60.
He's got some affiliation, I think, with Louisville. Yeah.
He maybe. I don't know because I know he went, but see, Bobby went to Notre Dame, so he may have some affiliation with Louisville. I haven't talked to him. I just wished him happy birthday not too long ago.
I'm pretty sure it's corporate, but yeah. Hey, I got a question for you. There's a guy on the Lions, the left guard. His name is Jonah Jackson.
Right.
He's from Pentcrest High School in Delaware County.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you seen much of him? 73.
73. You talking about for
Detroit, the Lions, right?
Dude, their offensive line is big, physical, and nice. I love what they do. I love how they put the onus. It remind me of our offensive line when Shane Steichen was here. I mean, it's like because they want it.
How's they have another terrific defensive coordinator, and that is Aaron Glenn.
AG. Yeah, that's my. He used to be my neighbor in Houston, and he actually was with me for 1 year in New Orleans as well. And I watched him go from DB coach in New Orleans and stuff to coming up there and running the attack style defense. Because he used to be an aggressive corner because he was small. So when you're that small guy, you got to be aggressive.
Yeah.
And you want the ball. And the thing that I love when you have a defensive back that's a defensive coordinator is they want to put pressure because they don't want to hang out the secondary out to dry. When you run all those crap, you disguise the coverages but you also want to put pressure on the quarterback so your guys don't have to be covering back there all day. And that's the one thing that I know. I don't know what position Jim played, but every time we were doing a defense, we never want to put our secondary in the bind because that's the last line of defense.
The Eagles have a rookie who's on the smallest side, shortish side,
right.
But I think he shows me the kind of passion and hitting ability that Doak showed me when he was a rookie. And I'm talking about number 31, Or number 21, Sidney Brown.
That's
Sidney.
Sidney. Yeah, Sidney. I love Sidney Brown coming out of school as well. And his brother was good as well.
Sure.
So it's like
Chase is at Cincinnati as a running back.
Yeah. You know their story, right?
Sure. They were in Canada.
Right.
And they were impoverished.
Yes.
And by the time they were 16, they lived in 20 different dwellings.
Yes.
And then he moved in with family members in Florida.
Florida. They got a scholarship to a school all-boys school in Florida.
Yeah.
Yes,
and then they both went to the University of Illinois.
Yeah.
But Sidney's the greatest kid.
Yeah. I met him. We do the veterans, alumni rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got an opportunity to talk to him because I had seen his story before that, and I watched him because I liked for some odd reason and Illinois has another good quarterback coming out this year. I forgot the kid's name, but they always had a pretty good secondary because remember Lovie Smith was there.
Sure.
And it was like you see a lot of him still there, but it's like you see what they were doing and you see his work ethic and his passion for the game, and that was
he has it.
Yeah. So the Ringo.
Keely Ringo.
Keely Ringo.
Do you like him?
I love Keely. Keely. It's like I wanted him initially, and I was glad that we were able to get him where we got him. But I love his speed, and I know he used to be an offensive player. I was like, but he's picking up the game really good now, and he just needs that coach to get him over the edge, to push him. So you got to get a really good defensive back coach in here to get them out of. Because I talked to Lito with this too. He said you just have to get a good defensive back coach because the ball skills are already there. It's like, but when you get a coach that hones things in and gets you to redoing all of the basic stuff, that's what that's when you really truly become a great defensive.
Do you
back.
Like Eli Ricks, the other
Yes,
kid?
I love all the young guys. Bradbury in the Seattle game. This is a quick stat before you guys have to go to the break. Bradbury was getting toasted in the Seattle game against all the other young guys. They were 0 for 7. And then on that last drive, they only went at. They looked like Drew Lock came out and was like, "Okay, where's number 24? Hike, yeah." That's it. That's what I fell in love with the young guys. I was like, "Okay, we got some young dogs. You just need somebody to teach them."
Okay, we'll be back right after this.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Our seasonal menu items are now available at all Chicky and Pete's locations. Enjoy our pork belly tacos or share a plate of South Philly crab fries featuring our world-famous crab fries and cheese sauce, topped with porchetta-style pork belly, fried onion, and shaved provolone. Don't miss our specialty cocktails like the stateside mint chocotini or our cranberry margarita. Details at chickiesandpete's.com. Chickies and Pete's.
When an Eagles player gets hurt, the team takes care of him. When you get hurt, the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will take care of you. They understand that a severe accident can be a life-altering event. You need a reliable teammate to fight for you. The attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will get you great results. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. Contact them today at 215-750-0110 for a free consultation. 215-750-0110 for a reliable ally that's on your side.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, prove it.
At Penn Community Bank, we're not just your bankers, we're your neighbors. That comes in handy when you're purchasing your first place, refinancing an existing mortgage, buying a second home or investment property, or looking to tap into your home's equity. Whatever your situation, we pair the latest products, services, and technology that you need with the experienced banking professionals you want. Visit penncommunitybank.com or stop by your local branch to find out how we can make your family's growth personal. Penn Community Bank. Here we are and here we grow. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, it's Merrill. Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa is here to help you distress after the game. Visit them to restore, relax, or refresh with a much-needed massage or facial for an introductory price starting at just $79.95. They offer an abundance of facial and massage services. Visit any one of their 60 spas in Delaware, South Jersey, and Philadelphia, including the Lehigh Valley, or go to handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
A flawless occasion begins at the Capitol Grill. From the moment you step into the Capitol Grill, located in the heart of Center City, the experience is one of comfortable elegance. Whether you're looking to host a private affair, a perfect lunch stop, or dinner destination, start your occasion at the Capitol Grill today. Visit thecapitolgrill.com or call 215-545-9588. That's 215-545-9588 for the Capitol Grill, Center City.
Planning to go to the game? Give LimoToday.com a call. You'll get to the game and back safely and in style. Why worry about the traffic and parking when you can relax and let LimoToday.com do the driving for you and your friends? And if you book a 5-hour trip with LimoToday.com, you'll get the 6-hour free. From sedans to minibuses to vans and stretch limos, let LimoToday.com get you to the game. Give them a call at 1-866-LIMO-TODAY. That's 1-866-LIMO-TODAY.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. Once again, here's your host, Delaware County Times Birds reporter Bob Grotz, and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
And back we are at Chickies and Pete's here at the Parks Casino. Bobby, we have what?
Oh, it's time for this week's Penworth Financial Keys to the Game. The key to your financial future is Penworth Financial. Call them today at 267-997-4503. 267-997-4503 or visit penworth.com. Now, I got the keys for the Chiefs at Baltimore.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
What are the keys? Tell me the keys so I can tell you if you're lying or not.
The keys are give some of your first-team reps to the second-team center. Because like Hollis said, they're going to exploit that. They're really
and you know the Ravens have a really big guys in the interior, and if you put that kid out there, Tony, it's going to be bad, especially with a strain pack, because that takes away some of your strength up top. And we grab up top anyway. So
I think they're going to have trouble getting open. So dink and dunk all the way down the field. And I think that you could wear on that defense a little bit.
Well,
they got some good linebackers that can chase.
That's what I was about. The one thing that they have
Patrick
the linebacker
Queen and the guy from Notre Dame
and Roquan Smith.
Yeah,
you forgot about him.
Yeah,
you forgot about him.
Pretty good.
He's a man amongst boys. That I'm talking about. When you think I was hoping that we traded for Patrick Queen, but we were not. I was like, come on, because we need somebody like him.
You do.
But they have him and then some. It's like when you look at what they did, especially what they did in the draft as well. That defense is well put together, and they give you different looks. And it's like they're not going to give you anything.
Dink and dunk and don't turn the ball over, and they got a shot.
Then they got Jadeveon Clowney as well, and dude, it's like I could go on forever, baby.
Yeah.
But how about the Kobe Dean? Is he ever going to be a factor? I mean, he was such a great linebacker at Georgia.
Yes, he was. And I'm waiting on the kid. I talked to him. I've talked to him throughout the offseason, tell him to keep his head up. Well, not so much the offseason, but throughout the season to keep his head up due to his injury and to come back with vengeance. I think he has what it takes to do it. He has the mindset. And he has the physical ability, and he's smart, but he can't make a club in the tub. If we can't see what you can do, it's like it's no way to see if you can make it. And your heart goes out to him. I was like, but at some point you have to either build competition or kind of move on until he's ready.
But you know what? Sometimes that changes. And I'll give you a great example. Eagles had a linebacker who was so good at coming up with fumbles, interceptions, runbacks, terrific. But every single year, I mean, one year he slipped on his honeymoon near the pool and broke his thumb. And I'm talking about Jordan Hicks.
Yes.
And yet Jordan Hicks has gone on to have a very productive NFL career.
Real playmaker.
Just
right.
not here.
Yeah, just not here. And it's like I don't know if it's us or what, but he can't stay healthy. I was like, even Jordan Hicks, he's one of those guys. Even during the Super Bowl run, we had to go out and get somebody else because he got hurt during that time as well. I was like, but it's just some guys just have that bum luck, and then that run of bad luck, and then they're able to piece things together and get a career. It just won't be probably with us because you can't keep counting on somebody and not preparing for them not being there.
See, that's the problem.
How did he break that thumb on the honeymoon?
He slipped on the pool.
Or did he get blocked? I think he got blocked. Yeah.
I think he slipped around the pool and landed on his thumb. I remember it. And what a great guy.
Yeah, most of the time, you don't really have a bad guy in the NFL unless he's just a jerk. But even the jerks, when you meet them in person, like, you're not that much of a jerk, huh?
Now this is really a good locker room.
Yes.
It really is. From Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a wonderful young player.
Yes, and unlike Scoop here, just talking about
number 11, baby.
Number 11.
Oh, he doesn't.
Yeah,
know.
He
don't go by him.
I know.
All right, let's pick the games.
Okay.
All right, let's go with the first game. Of course, is Kansas City at Baltimore.
Kansas City at Baltimore. It's kind of hard to pick against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
But it's not at home.
Yeah.
And this is the first one in
But Buffalo wasn't home either.
Yeah, Buffalo wasn't home either, but that was their first game not at home, and Buffalo isn't Baltimore. And Buffalo doesn't have Lamar Jackson.
That's going to be nuts.
And then Buffalo's defense was
Andrews is coming back.
And injury riddle, and Mark Andrews is coming
back.
Yeah,
he's a great tight end.
Yes, and then Zay Flowers, and you got Odell Beckham Jr. And they've got
Kansas
Nelly.
City,
and they've
that
got Nelly.
It.
And they've got Nelly.
That's right, Nelly Aguilar.
Hey,
he had a good game.
That's right.
But I think Harbs is going to have those guys ready.
Harbs is great.
Yeah, he's
but Harbs is great, but Andy's great.
Yeah,
I mean, you're talking about two elite coaches.
I'm just saying.
I'm going with Harbs.
I'm going with Harbs. I'm gonna let you go with the Andy thing because if you didn't know, I don't really care for him. So
okay, but he's still been a great coach.
I think he was. Jim Johnson was a good coach.
Okay.
And if you look at all this situation, he's the ultimate planner. Big Red is the ultimate planner.
Yes.
I was like, but where he got marred at was being a part of it can't be us against them if you're with them.
Okay.
And when you mess up that line and you start having players pissed off at you because you told them one thing and you went and did another. So
okay, all right. So,
but he's garnered one of the greatest coaching careers known to man.
Yes, Baltimore, Kansas City,
Baltimore,
Kansas City,
Bobby, Kansas City. I will go KC for one reason.
Mm-hmm.
The reason you mentioned, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
he is magical. He's the best quarterback, hands down, in football. Okay, so it's Baltimore for you, Kansas City for Bob and me. All right. I'd rather go over Hollis'
and I'm going with Detroit too.
Okay, the second game, of course, is Detroit and San Francisco.
I got to go with Detroit here because Deebo Samuels is ailing with an injury.
That's a big injury.
That's a key injury. If you look at a lot of they kind of let Brock Purdy off the hook. The Green Bay did because they dropped about 3 picks that were literally like bow right in the chest. And I think Deebo Samuels it gives what I feel like we need.
Yeah,
we need that speed
energy.
Guy. That's a speed. We don't have that super duper fast guy that puts everybody on notice when anytime he's moving around. It's like, I'll keep an eye on him because he can go the distance. We don't have that guy. We got some guys that can go the distance.
Yeah,
but it's like, they're going to be in routes. They're the conventional guy. We don't have that extra guy, that third receiver. We keep jamming Quez Watkins in there. So I don't know why, but that's a whole nother story. But I think with Deebo Samuels being ailing, I think, and the way that they got their butt kicked kind of up until the end against Green Bay, I think that the Detroit Lions are just primed and ready to go for their first Super Bowl.
You are picking Detroit.
I'm taking the Lions. Yeah, Lions.
You are picking the Lions,
and I'm going to make a prediction too.
What's that?
Trent Edwards gets thrown out of the game too.
Probably. He's not. He throws punches and stuff.
Yeah.
He's like one of the most gifted players known to man, but he's dirty.
Yeah.
And he's dirty to an extent where he's going to get ejected. He's thrown punches before, and they've let it go.
Well, I hate to disagree with you, gentlemen.
That's fine.
I'm going to root for Detroit. I would love to see Detroit in the Super Bowl. I've seen enough of the 49ers. But you know what? Midway during the season, they had 3 losses, but they were missing a lot of players. They came back, and after they beat the Eagles, they just took off. And I said, you know what? This is the best team in football. This is the best team, and I'm suddenly not about to change my mind. So I do think it's going to be San Francisco, and I do think we're going to have a rematch. Well, not exactly a rematch, because the rematch would be Baltimore against San Francisco, where John once beat his brother.
But she said it right, because I said it's like, but it's going to be the reason. The one part that you said about San Francisco. Remember, they got everybody back.
Yeah,
Deebo Samuels is the key to the. It's the key.
He is.
And then when you saw when he went out, how everything went down. It's like,
okay.
But that's the one thing. When you said that, I was like, but Deebo may not be playing. He's got a bad, and they're not going to play with the shoulder.
No.
The shoulder, the part. If your shoulder's cracked, they're not going to mess with that.
No. All right. So we'll see. But I think the Super Bowl this year is going to end up Kansas City and San Francisco. But I'll be rooting for Baltimore and Detroit. All right, Hollis, you are a great friend and a great guest. You really, really bring life. You make up for Bob falling asleep after time.
Hey, I'm sorry giving you a thorough beatdown tonight.
All right, thank you to our producer and our engineer, Chris Ermer, and thank you to our executive producer, Jules Quinones. For all of us, good night, everybody.
You've been listening to the Pro Football Report, presented by BCWSA. Tonight's show is an exclusive presentation of 1490 AM, as well as 107.3 FM, and heard around the world at WBCB1490.com.